Hey everybody, Neil Malek from Knack Training bringing you another everyday office video. In today's video, I want to combine together a couple of layers of techniques to give you the ability to build a chart like the one you see up here. So, the beginning part of this, the line that goes across the chart is not that big a deal, but there are a couple of things here that not a lot of people know how to do. Item number one, the line on top, it stops short of the end of the data set. Item number two, there's a nice little marker at the end of that data set telling you not only things like, at this point it's $68,000, but other information like year to date, we're up this amount of money, or in this month, we're up this much in sales. Also, this little vertical line that goes down from the end marker down to September, so it's easier to see what month we're talking about. That's another indicator that's important. And then finally, over here on the left, being able to take this axis on the left-hand side and change it from the more raw number format to a simple number format that has the K's in it, things like that, can be very nice. So let me go ahead and demonstrate how this is accomplished. We'll begin with a data set. As you can see here, we have a bunch of sales in 2017 and 2016, a lot of different values here from a lot of different customers. And on the calculation tab, as you can see over here, I've got two little tables. Both of them use the sum-ifs function. And as you can see here, I've got 1/1/2017 and 2/1/2017. And I've got a sum-ifs function that says I need all the values that are after or equal to 1/1/2017 and before 2/1/2017. So that's the entire month of January. Now, to make this a little bit cleaner, let's go ahead and take these date values. And we don't really need to see them as they're written out dates. What we need to see is what month we're talking about. So I'm going to go over here to my number formatting group and click on the little pop-out button here in the corner. And when I get to this dialog, I'm going to go to the custom option, where you can see here I can type in any combination of M, D's, and Y's. I'm just going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4 M's. By typing in 4 M's, I get to say January and February and March. Click OK. And that is actually more in line with what I need to know than is the actual raw dates. Okay, so now I've got these values over here in the left-hand table. Let's just go to the Insert tab up at the top of the screen and add a simple line chart. Now you see the first problem that we have in the line chart is that when we have calculations that result in the number 0, which is what August through December down here equal, you see the line actually goes down to 0. So the first trick is that anything that is supposed to be a 0, or it really just shouldn't be there, should actually be translated into the NA error message. So here's how we would make that happen. We go into the original function that we have here, and we're just going to go ahead and cut that function, Control X to cut it, and we'll say if that function, Control V to paste, is equal to 0. If that all results in a 0, then what we want is the NA function, open close parentheses, whose job it is just to output the NA error message, comma, if that's not equal to 0, then just see the result of the calculation. So I'll paste that out. And as you can see, it's the exact same calculation, the exact same 17 million and 12 million, 16 million. But now when we get down to August, September, October, November, December, these 5 months are NAs. And we can see that the chart goes from going down to 0 to just stopping here. Next up, we have this data set over here to the right that we would like to add into the chart. It's as easy as highlighting the data set, using Control C to copy, clicking on the chart, and using Control V to paste. As you can see there, we have our new sales totals for 2016 in addition to the 2017 sales totals. Next problem. The next problem is that we need a marker here at the very end of the chart that tells us not just that we have in July $17.6 million in sales, but maybe something like how much we're up in July or how much we're up year to date, something along those lines. So to make that happen, we actually use a whole other column here, insert another column, and invent a data set that works for this scenario. So the scenario I'm interested in is if the month that we're talking about is the last month that we have values for, that's where the marker should go. How can we determine whether this is where the marker needs to go? Well, this month is a number, and the next month is an NA. So we're going to do a test. It's the if function. And the if function is going to test two different ideas. We use the and function to test two different ideas at the same time. Both of these two things must be true. The first question is the value that's in the next month the NA function? And the way we test that is with the isNA function, ISNA. Is February the NA error message? No, it's not. So that tells us this is going to come out as false. But the other test that we're interested in is January not the NA error message? So that would be the not function, the isNA function, and there we test January. Close parentheses, close parentheses, close parentheses. So that is the two different criteria that both have to be true to indicate whether this is the last month with values in it. Is the next month the NA error message? Comma. If that's true, if the next month is the NA error message, but we've got a number here, let's go ahead and output the actual value here, cell C5, comma, if it's not, again, output the NA error message. And just like that, I can autofill this down, and we can see where the marker is going to be here in July. Pretty easy. So once again, I highlight the data set in question, copy the data set, click on the chart, and paste the data set. It's impossible to see because this is one point that's the same value as the previous July number, but if we go up to the Format tab up at the top of the screen and use the drop-down menu, you'll see that right now Series 1 is the original data we made the chart off of. That's the 2017 numbers. Series 2 is the second set of numbers we copied in, which is the 2016 numbers. So now we're talking about the Series 3 numbers, which is a whole bunch of NAs, and then one $17.6 million. So we click on Series 3. There it is. As we can see, there's a little pinpoint there. Now, with this, we can format it. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Control-1 to format it. And it looks like something else is taking up my Control-1, so I'll just go to Format and Format Selection there, and go to my Fill Paint bucket. Now, I'm not so much interested in a line because, well, this is one point. It's not a line at all. So I'll go here to Marker instead, and under Marker options, I'll say, you know what, let's go ahead and put in a marker of some kind of built-in marker. And by default, for some reason, they go with the square marker. I'm a bigger fan of the dot marker that's right there. And then we can decide how big it is, what color it is, etc. Let's say that the border around the outside edge is maybe a dark blue color, and that the fill color is white. So you can see immediately that we have this white dot at the end of this, but we can even go a step further, make it a touch bigger, maybe make the width of the line a touch bigger, something like that. And let's just take a look at it. Not bad, right? A nice little dot telling us exactly where this ends up so far. Next point. The next point is I want a little label that shows up over here to the right, but I want that label to be special. So instead of showing me, let's say, for example, that this number is $17,660,400.00, I want a label that says something that I build myself. So I'll right-click on the E column, choose Insert, and now, and let's go ahead and make this line all the way across. Now we're interested in what is the label supposed to be. Let's go ahead and build this out. Maybe we'll do something like, we'll figure out how much we're up year to date. So let's figure out what that is. So equal sign sum of all these numbers minus the sum of all these numbers, close parens. Okay, so we're up $33.4 million years to date. So maybe right here, we would love for it to say, you know, $ 33.4M plus sign year to date, something like that. Okay, we can make this happen. We just need another function to make this happen. Now, we could do this manually, of course, but as your numbers change, you want this to fluctuate, right? We want this not to be hard-coded, but to be calculated long-term. So let's begin with this. I want it to output NA if it's not the last month, but if it is the last month, I want it to output how much we're up year to date. Okay, so that is equal sign if. The test is the isNA function with the NA over there. And if it is, then just use the NA function, output NA again. That's not really a big deal. But now, here's what's interesting. If it's not, if this is actually the last month, what I'd like you to do is take the sum of everything up until now, which is $C, $5, colon C5. Close parentheses. So that is the sum. You see here, if we're in cell E5, that's January. But if we're going down to E6, then it would be C5 through C6. And if we go down to E7, it's C5 through C7, and on and on and on and on down the line, minus the sum of $H, $5, colon, H5, close parentheses. So take the sum total of everything up until this month and subtract the sum total of everything from the previous year up to that month and compare the two against one another. And you can see there that that's exactly what we were expecting to see. $33.4 million up year to date. But we can do better than this. See this sum thing right here? I don't want it to say $33,397,500 difference. I want it to say, use the text function here. Use the text function and put that number in, the $33,397,500 into the text function, and then do this, comma, and inside of quotation marks, we're going to do something to format this up. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is put in a $sign. We definitely need a $sign in our formatting. Space. Well, then what I want is the millions and the hundred thousands position. So that's 0.0, comma, comma. What that's telling you is everything from the decimal point to the comma, I don't really need to see it. Everything from the first comma to the second comma, I don't really need to see it. That's ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s I don't need to see. What I need to see is the millions position and the decimal off of the millions position, 0.0, the millions and the 100,000s positions. And then after that, I'll probably put in double quotes around the letter M to output just the letter M at that point. All right, so let's see whether that works better or not. We'll autofill that down. Oh, that's not bad, right? So instead of $33,397,500 with 2 decimal points, it says 33.4M. That's very good, but we can do better than that. We're going to do, take that value and then concatenate some more onto it. Ampersand, quotation marks, plus sign, space, YTD. Close quotation marks. Autofill that down. And isn't that nice? In July, we are up 33.4 million year to date. Nice. So let's go ahead, click that dot right there, go up to the Design tab and choose Add Chart Element, add a data label to the right because we know we're not to the end of the chart yet, so I'll choose right there. But I don't want it to say 17,660,000. I want to tell us how far we're up year to date. So we click on that data label. We come over here to the little chart icon to say, what does that actually contain? And we say it doesn't contain the value. What we want it to contain is a value from some other cells. So I click the checkbox for value from cells, and we highlight those labels right there, and we hit OK. And just like that, we've got a nice label. It still says comma 17 million. Let's take the value out of there. Much better. Much, much better. Now, just a little bit of formatting, right? So first of all, I want a vertical line to come down and show us that we're talking about July. If I click onto that data point, I can go to my Design tab, use the Add Chart Element drop-down menu, and add this thing called an error bar. And I'm going to go in here and click on More Error Bar Options. And I want this option to say, okay, I want a vertical bar, but I want a vertical bar that only goes in the minus position. I want it to have no end cap on it. And I want it to go to a percentage, that percentage being 100% all the way down to the bottom. See that right there? So a minus direction error bar going 100% of the distance down to the bottom. Now it's just a matter of going over here to my paint bucket, and let's go ahead and make it kind of a lighter gray color. Let's make it a little thinner maybe, and let's maybe make it dashed. Not bad. So these axis numbers over here on the right, if I click onto my chart options, I'll go with major units, maybe every, let's say every 5 million. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit enter. There we go. So that's every 5 million. But you know, the numbers aren't formatted correctly, so I'll hit the little number drop-down menu here, and instead of a counting format, let's go to custom number format, and let's input the code of $ space 0, comma, space, quotation marks, M, close quotation marks, and then hit add. Not bad. Then let's just put a bow on this whole thing, right? So I'll go over here to my cells that are behind here. I'll give these a nice background color, maybe blue or something. There we go. And then the chart itself, we'll go with no border on it, but we'll do a solid fill color that is maybe darker than that. Maybe I'll go to, maybe that's a little too dark. Yeah, maybe pale is better. There we go. So we go to these numbers over here, and we'll make the text a nice rich black color. We'll make this text a rich black color. Looking good. Maybe we'll increase the font size. Maybe we'll go in here and make this as dark as possible, and we'll make this other one sort of a paler version. Not bad at all, right? So as you can see there, using logical functions, we can output NAs when we don't want to see a number value, when we don't want to see a label. We can use something like the text function to format values in whatever way we want, including doing this nice little M formatting for millions of dollars. We can bring all that data into the same element together, and using error bars, we can have a line connecting us to the base of the chart telling us what month we're talking about.